But first, before we go into that, we go into the recap of the Edge for last week, UFC Vegas 87. It's the recap. Let's get right on into it. The Edge, of course, is where I pick who I think should win the fights. Usually pretty close. Well, actually, I'm always pretty close. But obviously, Basharat lost. So, I mean, there is that one in there. We know that one already. But let's get into the rest of them. This, of course, opened up with Klein. I was considering picking him as the sniper pick, but I didn't have any odds, so that didn't help. So I didn't really want to pick that if I didn't have any odds. But I was definitely considering picking that, which is why he was in both of the parlays, because he was, I ranked them from A through F. A was Basharat, B was Klein. Anyway, Cunningham landed a couple of good strikes here and there, but it was a massacre, just like I said it was going to be. Just picked him apart, landed a nasty body kick to get the TKO. Absolute dominance. I don't really know why they would have picked Cunningham to come. I really don't, because now they have to give him another fight because he took this one, and he's just going to lose that one again the same way. So it's kind of like, I don't really know why you would do that, but hey, whatever. I mean, he's going to get paid well, so good for him, but he's going to get brutally beaten again, and maybe even again a third time. So that was a good way to start, 1-0. Then we go to 2-0 with Christian Leroy Duncan. Another massacre, honestly. Ribeiro barely landed a strike. Like, I think he literally landed just a few strikes the whole fight. Duncan was just throwing wild stuff, as always. Then he took him down for the ground and pound in the second to get the easy win there, too. So easy 2-0 start to the night. And then, of course, we run into Basharat. Holy fucking shit. Terrible. Yeah, we already talked about this in the best bet segment, so we'll just move on. I still can't believe he lost. Again, if you didn't watch the best bets, I thought he won 29-28. I thought he won the first and the third, but I digress. Either way, he really should have won no matter what. I mean, that's absolutely insane that he blew that. So we move on. Anders up next. As expected, Pickett was backing up quite a bit. Not great for the judges, obviously. In the judges' eyes, I should say, obviously. So Anders, just winning with activity and pace, pressure. I mean, it was actually exactly what I said was going to happen. So good way to open the night. I mean, 3-1. It just should have been 4-0, but again, I'm not going to let that go. I'm really not, because that was insane. Urseg after that. Exciting fight while it lasted. Schnell landed a couple of good ones in the middle, but Urseg dominated and ended up getting a clean KO. Just a nasty but beautiful KO. Incredible stuff from Urseg. Oh man, what a guy. I love this guy, I really do. He's so funny too, and then when you look at him and he's fighting, he's just like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You want to fight? Oh, okay. That's just what he looks like. Oh, yeah. Got dropped. Oh, yeah. Next up, it was Umar. And there were, my God, the first 30 seconds. I think we were all like, oh my God, we're all going to lose all of our money here. Umar gets dropped in the first few seconds of the fight. Almost loses. But then dominates with wrestling the entire rest of the fight. So after that, pretty obvious win. But yeah, those first 30 seconds, wow. That was scary, which is why I don't put people like this, especially with debuts. You never know how people are going to be in there, because Umar wouldn't know what to expect either. You never know what can happen with stuff like these. So I don't like putting these too high up in the parlays. But still got the win anyway. Which is 4, I believe, what is it, 4, 5-1, 4-1, something at this point. We got the final count at the end, but, just trying to keep track along in the meantime. I think it's 5-1 now. And then we had Mokaev, of course. Very, very close fight. Perez grappling pretty well. Shockingly, it was actually kind of a reversal, because Perez was the one that was actually wrestling and grappling really well, and Mokaev was the one that was striking really well. Never would have seen that one coming, and I don't think anybody else was seeing that one coming either. Really weird. That would have never thought that was going to happen. But I wasn't too surprised that it did end up being that close, because we haven't seen Perez fight as much. Being finished so quickly by, can't remember who the other one was, but Pantoja was the one I remember always, because that's still ingrained in my mind as the first time I realized Pantoja is probably the best submission artist in the entire UFC. That was the second that I realized that, was when I saw him do that to Perez. Anyway, but yeah, Mokaev gets it done, 29-28. Very, very close, though. I was getting worried. I really was. I thought he was potentially losing the fight. I really did. But he gets the win, too. So 3-0 on this page. Amazing, amazing stuff. Then we move on to the next one, and that was Petrino in the co-main. Pretty slow fight, honestly. Petrino landed harder, grappled him in the third. That was kind of it, though. It wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, pretty slow fight, but he did get the win. And then we saw, of course, Tyson Pedro retiring like that, which is sad to see, but you know what? Good for him, because I don't really think it was going to get much better. Yeah. So, yeah. I hope he does well in the future, being a coach or whatever, or doing whatever he wants to do. But yeah, Petrino gets the win as well. And then... Oh, that was terrible. Let's go back. Can we go back here? Yeah, there we go. So I did that part wrong. But I want to see my notes again. It was Gaziev who I picked in the main event. I told you I didn't want to make the pick in the main event. I wanted to give it an even because I really couldn't tell what was going to happen. But I went with Gaziev. I'll take the L, but whatever, But, and you know what? The first round, I was like, okay, I think I made the right choice. But then, slowly faded and then started to get picked apart. And then one of the weirder stoppages I've ever seen, where it kind of just looked like he just gave up. Like, that's kind of the impression that I got from Gaziev, is he kind of just gave up. So yeah, this is literally why I make these ones even all the time, because I mean it was that close, because Gaziev wins the first, and then who was going to expect that he was literally just going to quit halfway through? Was he losing after that? Yes, of course he was losing, but again, it's just, you never know how people with those few fights. It was his second fight in the UFC. This is why I don't make picks like this. They're not good bets. That's why you go for the underdog in that situation, which is what I would have said, which is what I was saying, actually. You go even, so you don't lose on the record here for the edge. And then, of course, because I pick even, then you go for the underdog in the bets. Everybody wins. But instead, main event had to make the pick, and we lose. But that's okay. That's okay. That at least was a fair loss. The Basharat one kills me inside. But that brings us to an overall record of 31-15, which is pretty good, because I mean, we were actually at an even record for a while. Actually, no, it wasn't an even record. We kept getting even records, but we were always in the green per se. But with 3 massive weeks in a row, which was what I was expecting every week, to be honest, is to have weeks like this where I only get 1, maybe 2 wrong. That's what I was expecting from this segment. The first month, though, did not work out like that. But now you can see what I was getting at. That yes, okay, yes, I will usually get only one or 2 wrong, and that'll be it. That's usually what happens. So that's why I was getting so miffed, let's say, in that first month. But Again, turn it around, 31-15. Amazing. That's, well, not amazing. I still want it to be a lot higher, but I'll take it. I'll take it. That's a solid 67, 68%, somewhere around there. It's 2/3 basically. So not bad, but still not great. Either way, we move on